Hey there, everybody, and welcome to How to Reach and Woo Potential Clients 24 hours a day, 7 days a week webinar. Or for those of you who aren't watching me live, welcome to the replay of that webinar. Now, before we start, for all of you that are watching this live, get ready to copy and paste the text in the URL that you see in the webinar chat box and share them over Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you use, using the hashtag GetClients24-7. Also, feel free to post any questions you have in the webinar text chat box, and I will address these during the webinar. I'm going to pause right now for just a moment or two so you can enter in your questions. Again, for everybody that's here, thank you so very much for coming to the webinar. You've made a choice to attend the webinar today or to watch the replay, and you're going to learn how to reach and land your ideal clients 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I'm going to show you how to do it using a highly targeted sales funnel that takes advantage of Facebook's vast database of users and its native targeting capabilities. Facebook advertising is where you need to concentrate your dollars because it's where a great majority of your audience lives online. Now, if you haven't noticed, check your Facebook feed and you'll notice that most of your friends and colleagues accessing Facebook right now or these days, we're doing so from mobile devices, significantly more so than we're doing it from PCs or desktops, unless, of course, you're trying to just look busy at work. Like it or not, with Facebook's recent algorithm changes in 2019 to focus on mobility, advertising, feeds, and interactivity, Facebook advertising is a strategy that we can't afford to ignore when setting up sales funnels. And it's especially important that you're here if you find yourself tending to avoid advertising. Maybe telling yourself that there's time enough for that when you become successful. The problem with that type of thinking is that without a targeted sales funnel that integrates targeted advertising, you may actually never reach your definition of being successful, especially if it involves public recognition and renown and/or a six-figure income. Now, there are some rare people that avoid advertising because they find it unnecessary. Others, maybe they avoid it because they tell themselves they can't afford it. And yet another group because they simply don't understand it and it's another exhausting learning curve. Now, even if you have plenty of business capital and you've decided to outsource your advertising to a social media manager or an advertising manager and even an advertising agency, you'll be throwing good money and irreplaceable opportunities away if you don't understand how advertising works. And nowadays, that means Facebook advertising and how it works. Understanding it, you can create tighter campaigns and reach your exact ideal paying client in any time of day or night if you know what you're doing with your sales funnels and why. Now, if you're one of those rare people who is already wildly successful without ever having to advertise, why not maximize your customer and client attracting potential even more with a few well-placed targeted ads? If you're in the group that think you can't afford advertising, stick around because understanding your sales funnel and getting started on the advertising path with a PPC budget that maxes out at $30 can bring you the results you need, results that will leave you easily able to afford more advertising as you need it. In fact, when you do see the results advertising can net you, you're probably going to become really excited about it and an advertising convert. And lastly, if you think advertising is just another exhausting learning curve, well, you're right, it can be. That is why I created this webinar. And it's going to give you an overview of how funnels work today, fast-tracking you to where you can make educated advertising decisions for your business and create offers that lead to loyal clients, more clients, and recurring income. But although Facebook advertising is one of our major topics today, it's not the sole focus of what I'm going to share. It's really about attracting and retaining the right client. Facebook advertising is the means to quickly get you to that end. The webinar will share with you everything you need to know so you can attract and, more importantly, continue to build relationships with that ideal client 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So let's make sure you're comfortable, get a notepad and a pen or a pencil, and let's begin. All right, section 1, understanding Facebook. What's the big difference in sales funnel strategies nowadays compared to a few years ago? The answer, the ever-increasing number of people living on their mobile phones and, of course, Facebook. According to Mashable, Facebook is a bigger news source than CNN or Fox. In fact, they state that over 48% of Americans get their news via their Facebook feed. Facebook now has well over 1 billion users, and it ranks second among the top websites both globally and for the United States. And that's only because Google, in spot number 1, also counts multiple Google platforms in its own number 1 ranking. And Facebook has just changed their EdgeRank algorithm. All right, so how do these changes affect today's sales funnel best practices? Well, they affect Facebook advertising, most would say, for the better. Number 1 important thing to remember about Facebook is that it's revenue-based. It wants to make money as much as you do. Number 2 is that Facebook pages and certain types of posts have absolutely plummeted in Facebook importance. So you need to know what to avoid and which new Facebook lead generation and sales strategies are now crucial to you and your business. That being said, the latest algorithm changes have vaulted feed content from friends up above Facebook pages, and it's a complete reversal in prioritizing from just a couple of years ago. Authority news sources like Forbes and TechCrunch have reported that as a reaction to clickbaiting is why Facebook has done that. And clickbaiting is where businesses post links with headlines that people have to click in order to learn what the post is about. And if the content is completely different from what the headline or the post seems to promise, that's actually pure bait and switch. Now, if you get caught doing either of these, you'll be lucky if only a handful of your friends or contacts see your feed. Mostly, however, the EdgeRank change is a reaction to the fact that what people really want is to be entertained. And what they really want to see is interesting content. And it doesn't really matter what your primary goal is, lead generation or sales or building your reputation. Your audience just wants to be entertained, and they want entertainment and things that they can share with their friends, things that will publicly win those thanks and acknowledgments. If your own Facebook business focus is lead generation, it isn't just your friends and followers that you want to target. You want to bring in brand new friends and followers from your ideal paying, action-taking demographic. You can now create custom audiences for your ads from even one highly targeted ideal client who clicks one of your like buttons. And what this does is reduce your cost per acquisition. You won't be paying a fortune for ads targeting every Tom, Dick, and Harry out there. Now, if you use strategies like building custom audiences, using lookalike audiences, or placing pixels and retargeting those who don't click through on their first encounter, your ads will only be presented to your ideal subscriber or customer, and you'll experience a much higher conversion rate, but only if you know your market and set up your ads in an informed manner and combine them with a tight sales funnel. Fortunately, Facebook now can do 90% or more of the research for you in the blink of an eye. Don't just bombard your feed with wildly random posts. Research who engages the most with you, what they want most urgently, and what they're willing to pay, and target your posts, your pictures, your videos, and other content to this ideal customer or client. Facebook is now all about interactivity. Who responds to your posts the most and who you have the most interaction with. This not only dictates your strongest organic reach, but you can use this as a starting point to clone audiences of like-minded prospects that are not even aware of you yet. This shrewd leveraging of Facebook advertising capabilities is where it's at. Another factor you need to know, Facebook pages have declined in power and shrunk in audience size, especially if you follow the old standard but incorrect practices of only posting content with links that take people right out of Facebook, which Facebook doesn't like, and never interacting personally with your Facebook page fans, a trait all too common with Facebook pages. In fact, it's because of these non-productive, opportunity-wasting habits that we are seeing the changes we are today. Now, don't scrap your Facebook pages yet. There are still powerful ways, some of them new, to use them in conjunction with Facebook advertising. For example, you can display your ads not just in the right-hand vertical column, but within your news feeds if you link them to a Facebook page. Advertising will put you at the top when it comes to making sure your content is viewed by the biggest, most tightly targeted group of Facebook users and potential prospects possible. But you need to know how it works best and use your advertising dollars, even if you've only got a tiny budget right now, to your best advantage. Combine quality, highly interactive and interesting content, knowledge of how to best use Facebook's EdgeRank algorithm, and regular planned exposure through Facebook ads, starting with your sales funnel. All right, step 2, we're going to talk about creating your funnel. Now, no matter if you're new to social media or a veteran, today's consulting culture dictates that you need a strong sales funnel combined with social media advertising. Now, we're going to talk mostly about Facebook, but you can apply the basic principles of strong content and funnel setup to other social networks as well. Most people think of sales funnels as, well, funnels with people spiraling through like a water slide, picking up products along the way and exiting the chute into a high-end final offer or recurring membership club. But look at other ways to think of your sales funnels. Think of each one as more of a framework with dots that all need connecting from one end till you reach the other end in a logical cause and effect creating order. Or in other words, your funnel is something that doesn't slip people through and out. It builds and builds and builds, cementing the client relationship and trust level with every purchase. Now, there are 4 definite stages all successful funnels need to go through. Attraction, which is you can find and connect with your ideal paying clients. Development, which is having made that connection, you nurture and build the relationship. Conversion, and this occurs when your ideal connections are finally ready to purchase or invest. But don't stop there. Keep building the relationship by adding recurring income products like membership sites where interaction with you and your content continues on an ongoing basis, and reach as many ideal clients as you can using Facebook strategies like pixel insertion and retargeting. And the last stage is sharing, and this is where people you have connected with achieve the promised results and are only too happy to spread the news about the results with your programs and products to others. You need to be aware of each stage throughout your funnel and exactly match your advertising strategies, products, and incentives to each stage's main goal. Each product or package, aka step in your campaign, can have its own mini funnel, but these mini funnels should be part of a whole funnel. Each step along the way, each click and each individual strategy should entice people along to your high-end ticket offer or recurring income program, the point where people become your ninja affiliates or your advocates or eventually joint venture partners who enhance your reputation as you enhance theirs, right? Let's take a look at the 4 basic sales funnel stages again, only this time we'll match them up to corresponding ad types. So, starting with attraction. Attraction, you've got ad types such as boosted posts, custom audiences, custom lookalike audiences, post-engagement ads, event ads, and dark posts. Don't worry, we'll talk a little bit more about some of these in depth coming up. In the second stage, development, you've got email campaigns based on the results of your attraction advertising and engagement. And you've also got website and newsletter offers. In the conversion stage of the funnel, your ideal attracted and engaged client makes the decision to buy, and you retarget people who did not convert and present your ads to them again until they do. In the last stage of the funnel, the sharing stage, your happy clients share your campaign with friends, sometimes even becoming affiliates or JV partners. Now, if you think of your funnel not just as product or program based, but as a roadmap to the necessary stages in your ideal client relationship, it will become much easier to change your focus to better suit each step in this complex but highly specific dance. And your growth will be exponential. You will not just have one wave of clients from your one campaign, but as you create fans, conversions, and affiliates, you will actually create multiple waves of new clients, with your first converts doing much of the work naturally and joyfully for you. And let's not forget about the incentive of affiliate rewards either, right? Okay, so who needs funnels with advertising? And here's one of those marketing paradoxes. The less well-known you are, the more you need to invest in advertising, and now. Incorporating social media advertising into your sales funnels will fast-track you to a place of success more quickly than any other strategy. And if you're already well-known, what advertising will do is help you reach new, tightly focused, and potentially converting segments of your ideal demographic, ones who don't yet know you. And thanks to tools like Facebook Analytics, Ad Manager, and the Power Editor, that becomes one-click easy. Setting up Facebook ads is literally like using a software installation wizard that walks you through the setup process, prompting you to select click essential details to customize your audience and your goal. And if you're doing everything the experts tell you and still not building a strong, loyal, paying client base, both for personalized, individual, or small group consulting and for membership sales and products, then you're probably still sticking with old-fashioned static sales funnel models, and we will talk about correcting that in just a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the benefits of Facebook-connected sales funnels. One of the top benefits of using Facebook advertising for your sales funnels is the degree of targeting Facebook is now capable of providing. You can specify and segment prospects more exactly than ever previously possible, and you can even retarget people who don't respond to your first ads or landing pages. Even better, you can also accurately and easily track and test your ad results using your Facebook analytics and then adjust your campaigns based on those results. Thanks also to mobile technology, apps and high-end merchant services and software like Infusionsoft and Lead Pages, targeting becomes almost automatic, as does predictive and even preemptive pixel code-driven action triggers, which built-in technological advances like exit detection and automatic retargeting. That sounds like a mouthful, and if you're lost, don't worry about it. We're going to talk a little bit more about those things in depth. Just stick with me. Here's an overview of how Facebook PPC works. Okay? You start out with likes, and you see which of your most liked posts gather the most interaction. Consider this the white end of your funnel and let Facebook do all the work here. Now, from your most active likes, you select and then set up promoted posts. The big advantage here is that you already are working with people who have interacted with you and pre-qualified themselves. Okay? So you start with likes, and then you set up your promoted posts to those people who have liked you. So you already know that they've liked you. Following me? As you begin to identify specific segments and prospect types from the reaction to your promoted posts, especially new segments you maybe didn't know about, you need to invest in also creating dark posts. And those are posts you write that do not appear on your own newsfeed, but instead are presented as sponsored posts in the newsfeed of those who liked your regular and promoted posts. Little bit complicated here, but we'll go over it one more time. So you start with your likes. From those likes, you then use promoted posts. And as you begin to identify segments, some you knew about, some you don't, you can use dark posts for further interaction with those who have liked your regular and promoted post. And dark posts are posts that show up on their newsfeed but don't show up on yours. The biggest benefit to dark posts is that they keep your advertising off your own timeline. Now, that's good for two reasons. A, you won't oversaturate your friends and put them off with commercial, salesy messages, and you won't get yourself heavily and automatically penalized by having your reach drastically reduced by Facebook's EdgeRank algorithm, which dislikes promotional posting. Why does it dislike promotional posting? Well, remember what we talked about earlier. Facebook's main goal is the same as your main goal, and that's making money. If you start posting promotional stuff on your own news feed without paying them, well, they don't like that, so your audience is reduced. So based on the response from your dark posts, you can create what we'll call advertorials, okay? These posts are going to be posts that look like regular newsfeed items, but they're actually advertisements. Make them really interesting and target them perfectly, and they can easily and quickly go viral. I guess I shouldn't say easily. They can quickly go viral. Easily is not marrying the two other objectives, but we'll talk a little bit more about that. So the key to creating advertorials that engage is to think post, not sales. That means a killer headline that sucks people in to find out more. But make sure it's not a misleading headline. It should deliver what it promises in the advertorial content, which what you're actually delivering is a story, right? An engaging or entertaining story with a call to action. And at this point, you're ready to set loose all these well-targeted results on your marketing funnel. You're not just starting from scratch as you start sending out emails, etc. You're sending sales messages to people who have already self-identified or have been identified via Facebook as ideal paying prospects. And when those who have finally responded to your dark post and advertorial sign up or like your post or page, you can actively reset your funnel to align directly with that type of new visitor. So what you actually have is a much wider than usual funnel mouth, and halfway through the attraction process, you're adding strategies to capture all of those that you missed on your initial traditional efforts. And what you end up with is a focused, interactive, responsive, and a highly effective Facebook sales funnel. We're going to look at a picture of it right here. As you can see, it is upside down. You've got your likes and your interaction leading into your promoted posts, leveraging dark posts, advertorials, and then conversion and retargeting. You can also capture this dark segment by setting your Facebook ads to target lookalike audiences, which are people you don't know, but who fit the exact demographic of your most strongly engaged post and ad respondents. But in order to get to that point, you do need to have 1,000 visitors. So this will help you get to the 1,000 visitors, and then once you get to the 1,000 visitors, using the lookalike audiences is absolutely phenomenal. The real benefit is that Facebook is doing the lion's share of the work that you would formerly have to have done manually in order to attract that perfect client demographic. Facebook is your magic ideal client finder. And that's why advertising and understanding Facebook advertising relative to your sales funnels is so freaking important. Facebook ads can provide a stunningly good, fast return on investment, and Facebook even keeps working to attract the right clients while you're asleep. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the drawbacks. It's not all sunshine, rainbows, and puppy dogs. No matter how clever shopping cart systems like Infusionsoft might be, or how easily landing page creation system like Lead Pages allow you to track, there's still one thing that you, the campaign owner and instigator, have to understand. Who is your ideal target market and where you need to start? Sure, you can find new market sub-niches, hidden segments, and so forth, but you have to start from an informed and highly specific focused position. You also cannot afford to create a static sales funnel. You need one that's highly responsive to each individual prospect at each specific stage. Facebook advertising excels in this respect, but only if you take the time to learn what you can do with retargeting and segmentation. For example, if you're reaching someone who is already subscribed, you don't want them to receive any emails inviting them or forcing them to subscribe again. It's perceived nowadays as both impersonal and incredibly frustrating. And it's the very opposite of relationship building, which is what your funnel should be all about after the initial sign up to your subscriber list. Or if you have a client who already has purchased a consulting package, you don't want to push products that they have already bought or sign up incentives on them. You do want to present them with offers at the right time for next level products, such as either VIP days or mastermind classes or retreats or groups, whatever. And you probably also want to offer them a renewal of their current package as the existing one draws to a close. The only drawback of doing this through Facebook ads is not understanding the purpose and your goals for each stage of your funnel. If you don't set up your ads correctly as a result of not knowing exactly where you are and how it works, you'll make mistakes and clients will get repetitive offers or keep seeing ads for the same product. Another drawback is that if you're sloppy with your targeting, you may end up paying too much for advertising to non-viable prospects. So, identifying your initial target by checking likes and comment interaction and selecting the right active posts to boost becomes an essential first step. Make sure you run your first boosted campaign with a fixed budget. Okay, now we're going to talk about selling your program. The funnel stage of your attraction interaction funnel is a complete mini funnel within itself. When you get past the promoted posts and into the dark posts, you're reaching new people and sending them to custom destinations, sign up landing pages, or very inexpensive no-brainer offers that include a sign up. An example, your regular subscribers are sent to a landing page for a special VIP day, but those who entered your attraction interaction funnel late as a response to dark posts or advertorials need to be sent first to a sign-up incentive landing page. Even if they want to buy straight away, they need to first subscribe. The initial offer or subscription switch to is an example of a strategy everyone is just starting to become aware of, retargeting, so that you can convert your new dark group of interactors. It is important, however, to recognize that an inexpensive no-brainer offer should be in line with what your ideal client demographic considers inexpensive. Now, if we're talking about high-level consulting here, it should not be a $7 ebook. Keep it above $97, but below or at like $297. And let them know that they're getting a special price, at least $100 off for that particular offer. If you're in a different industry and that's not considered on par, then you're going to want to adjust that accordingly. Promoting this type of offer with a webinar is a great way to increase conversions. You are building on the shoulders of your focused Facebook advertising, and you should see better targeted attendees and higher conversions as a result. So rather than a 5-page report as your sign-up incentive, plan a webinar. Save your 5-page report as a bonus to offer them at the close of the webinar, and suit that report to your unique niche. For example, if your niche is dependent on equipment, give a resource directory on what equipment to use, what maybe brief but key details such as cost and what it does and how to get it. Use a coupon code to give them the $100 off offer that comes at the end of the webinar, or whatever discount amount you decide on. You see how that's all coming together? It is also important to position this discount not as a discount, but as a reward for their investment of time in your webinar. Now, I'm not going to drop the mic, but hopefully you guys are starting to see a dramatic change in how this is positioned and how this is done instead of the traditional sales model. Your offer and coupon code should feel like a privilege rather than a plea, right? You're giving them something that's great because they did something for you, not using it as a leverage point to beg them into buying or getting a product or service. This is also where you can do some serious selling very quickly, and it's really where, for the new customer coming from the dark sources, your funnel begins. So they're there because they want to check out a high-ticket offer. You divert them into subscribing. You then offer a webinar related to the topic of your big-ticket item. They check out the webinar and buy the one-time offer or join the membership site that you promote at the end of the webinar, but they still haven't bought the big-ticket item. But they have become a customer. Maybe they've experienced a free introductory session, or where you both qualified yourself as compatible, creating a bond. Maybe they bought your video series to achieve a very specific single goal, but now they are happily hooked on you and your resources and your products. And that's when you offer your big ticket item. Without the buildup of a sign-up offer or a gift, they may be buying your big ticket item, but they're not yet wholly committed to you. Their faith has not been based on anything. You have nothing to base your faith on. You're likely to be asked for a refund or discover what they really were looking for is something different, or they're not ready to work with you at that level yet. But with a sign-up incentive, they're not only on your list, they've made a small purchase or received a gift, and it should be the best gift that you can give exactly when they need it right now. When they do progress to larger purchases, they should do so rapidly, since the smaller purchases were, in their eyes, test of you, test of your company, test of your content, your knowledge, and how you present things. In less than normal time, they're ready for your big ticket items, and they don't ask for refunds because you spent the time advertising carefully to attract exactly the perfect paying client or customer for you. And as an added bonus for you, once you learn how to apply these specific pre-qualifying steps, progressing from likes through advertorials, attracting both known segments and hidden segments alike, you will instinctively grow to know which types of content and media will work best for all of these stages. It won't seem confusing anymore. You'll feel like an expert because you'll soon be a Facebook advertising and active funnel expert, sending people to your unique offers. And if you do that, you can choose from any that suit your best demographic. Introductory strategy sessions, webinars, whether they're free or paid or pre-recorded and not even live, high-value newsletters, critiques. You can use a signature ebook or a printed book. You can use a consulting mini package or just a consulting package altogether, one-on-one time. You can use resources, template forms, worksheets, etc., live events, exclusive clubs or membership sites, resource clubs, courses, VIP days, mastermind retreats, and the best part is you'll know exactly what to create for your unique clients. And the most important part to selling your program, however, is setting up your landing pages. These need to be finely tuned so that they're the fulfillment of what your Facebook ads are promising. You need to set them up in a very highly and specific way. Setting up your Facebook ad to send traffic to your squeeze page. Okay, one of the biggest advantages of Facebook advertising lies in its understanding of human behavior and its accommodation of retargeting to compensate for that. Let me explain. The average person visits your website, sees your sign-up offer or a different sort of offer, and then they leave to think about it. In the real world, you rarely ever see those visitors again. However, if they see your retargeted ad on Facebook, a sense of familiarity replaces any hesitation they had on their first visit. Interest is rekindled and they click through to be returned, that is, retargeted back to your landing page. Where this time, many of those previously hesitant visitors complete the action that your landing page directs them to take. Now, how does Facebook allow you to do that? Well, it lets you make use of the custom audience feature. To get started with retargeting, only retarget those who have visited your website within the last few days, but they didn't click through. And if you have a PC and you're using a PC, make sure that you're using the Chrome browser. Remember, you don't pay for an ad until someone clicks on it. So do your best to make sure that that someone is totally qualified. And with Facebook, you can do that by selecting quickly from fields like behaviors, connections, and interests. You can do this within your Facebook Power Editor, and you can look at your audience insights within the Facebook Ad Manager. Pay attention to graphics you choose, which is an area people sometimes overlook. If you want to attract 55-year-old professional single women with no children, don't use a photo of a happy mom wearing sweats hanging out with their kids after a baseball game. If you want to attract writers, don't use photos of rugby players. And if you want to attract animal lovers, don't post a photo of a bowl of fruit. It might sound ridiculously obvious, but people choose less than optimal graphics all the time. When you do make a selection, shortlist the photos or graphics. Be sure to ask yourself, who's this speaking to exactly? And is there any item in the graphic that contradicts my message? Generally speaking, positive images convert much more successfully than negative ones. For example, if you can get your point across with a laughing baby, do so. Crying babies tend to make people not click or click away. And also remember, the 20% rule applies to ad graphics, as well as Facebook page cover photos. Don't go over that percentage or your ad may not get approved. The 20% rule, we're talking about text versus the image. Another no-go, autoplay videos. Absolutely forbidden in Facebook ads, so don't even try to sneak that one by. And do include your privacy policy and legal notices as links on the landing page. And a final no-no, have at least one link which people can use to leave your landing page. If you don't, your Facebook ad leading to that page will likely not get approved. If it does, it might get approved and later your account might get banned. Here's what you should have in your ad to take your visitor to a landing page that delivers or mirrors exactly what you promise in the ad. First, you need to have a strong headline. Spend some time on it. What will make people curious enough to click? What's their big pain point? What do they want to know? And asking a question like, how would you like to blank, is often a very successful strategy. Number 2, say as little as possible. Focus on the essentials. What will grab them and what do you want them to do once they're there? 3, offer something they consider of the highest value as a reward for clicking through. Number 4, include your contact information. And number 5, make sure your landing page is mobile responsive. Taking care of these points will help ensure your Facebook ad gains approval quickly. Don't try to target multiple cultures or countries either. Keep each landing page to one culture or country at a time, and that can be because there can be huge cultural and visual differences even within English-speaking countries. Now, if you're promoting a physical live event or a local business, be sure to include a location radius in your ad parameters so that Facebook will concentrate on reaching ideal prospects within that area. Make sure that you're using both your ads and your email campaign to send people to your landing page. Know your specific goal for each of your landing pages. Also, install Facebook's Power Editor. We're going to put a link right here for you. If you've never used a Power Editor before, you'll see a little pop-up balloons helping explain what to do and what the different components are. Select or check an account under Accounts in the middle pop-up and press Download. When you create a post, you can also create a custom audience. After you've initially created a custom audience, your ad tools in your Ad Manager or Power Editor will allow you to create a custom audience for your website. And that's the option to choose if you're retargeting recent visitors. Facebook pretty much walks you through the ad creation process, explaining differences and nuances as you go, but if you want to preview exactly what you can do, check out the advertising help section, which is right here as a link. Your ad tools is where you handle and define audiences as well as track conversions. Now, Facebook advertising is very versatile, and you can create an ad to take people to your landing page from any type of content. As an example, you can set a Facebook photo or a video as your click-through mechanism. You're not limited to just texts or links. And let's not forget that Facebook advertising also allows you to include like buttons and share buttons within your advertising so that you're creating more than one type of conversion, reach, or engagement mechanism. Now let's talk a little bit about the importance of pixels. You need to make sure that you create pixels for each Facebook ad so that it knows exactly which offer to send people towards. The term pixel is confusing because it has nothing to do with graphics and everything to do with automatic creation of custom code. When you pixel visitors through Facebook ads, you capture them, whether or not they subsequently click through. Facebook then identifies them and performs actions like sending them to different retargeted landing pages. Be sure to pixel your thank you pages too and include share buttons. You also need to create tracking codes so that you can do things like split testing. There are many types of ads that you can create, but the real trick is knowing which ones to use for your specific offers and your specific landing pages. Trial and error does come into it, but you can do quite a lot of refining and targeting between your Power Editor and Ad Manager and Facebook with easy multiple choice one-click options. No matter which types of ads you set up, whether you're using software, services, and apps in your interactive funnel creation, you need to maintain an active funnel at all times, and you'll have several over your online career. Sometimes you might even have several at once. You need constant, regular exposure through Facebook ads to maintain a strong edge rank position and get your ads seen by the most people and the right people. All right, guys, I hope this overview of what's possible nowadays with funnels and Facebook advertising has shed at least a glimmer of light on new ways to target. If you're ready to add Facebook targeting to your funnels and build solid funnels that work around the clock to bring you income and success, feel free to click the button below and I will show you a new course that I've put together. It is a 30-day Facebook ad challenge. It's basically broken up into 4 weekly modules where I talk far more in depth than I was able to on just this single webinar about how to create your optimized Facebook funnel, your perfect opt-in gift, putting together your money-making offer, and then how to create effective, highly targeted Facebook ads. If you're interested in more hands-on help or more information, feel free to click the button below. If you're not, that's totally cool too. For everyone else, I hope that you were able to get, again, some valuable information from the webinar. I thank you for attending. Feel free to share it with friends, family members, colleagues, whoever you think is going to benefit from it. That would be awesome. Thanks again for showing up. I hope it was a huge help. Best of luck to you all.